Our first Khipu example comes from Leland Locke's article called A Peruvian Khipu, which was written in 1927. In this article, Locke presents evidence that knots represented numbers in Khipus, which I already covered in a previous video. A spoiler alert, before I go on, I want to take a moment to explain the purpose of this video series is to give a brief introduction of what is currently known about the Khipus for casual learners. This is a very big topic, and we will just kind of touch on the surface. My goal is to condense the field of Khipu study into a series of easy to digest videos, short videos. Yeah, for anyone who wants to go deeper into these topics, original articles and books by Khipu, links to the original articles and books will be provided in the description below that were written by known Khipu researchers in the field. One thing I've really enjoyed on my Khipu journey is to make my own discoveries about the Khipus. So I made a notebook. That's my Spanish one. Workbook. I made a workbook that goes into all the things that we'll be discussing in the video series, but it presents the information in such a way where it has a diagram that's blank, and you're open to make your own discoveries and write above the chords or in the margins about what you see before it explains the principles. So if that's your learning style, then watch this video after chapter 3. Otherwise, if you're more of a passive learner, don't worry about it. This video series will cover the basics of the Khipu research. Here is an image of the Khipu discussed in this article. You can find a link to the original article in the description below. These chords are called top chords. Top chords define a group of pendants by looping through the attachments, like this. So I can pass the top through the loops that attach the pendants to the primary chord. And then loop it through itself. With a tightly applied cord, it can be difficult to open the loop. Then I pull it through and tighten. Because it's hard to see the chords and the knots in this image, Locke provides this diagram where the letter A represents the first group of pendants, and so on. He also provides a detailed description with the kinds of knots and the colors of the chords. To make it easier to visualize, I've created a simplified diagram like this. Here we see group E in color. TE is for the top chord of the E group, which when you sum up the knots has a number value of 245. And E1 through E6 are the pendants. The number value of E1 is 7, and so forth. These small lines represent subsidiary chords and their respective number values. The main point of Locke's article was to demonstrate how knot type, number of turns, and placement on the chords all contributed to the numerical value of the chord. But I already discussed this in a previous video, so right now we are going to focus on the top chords. If we add up the value of all of these pendants together, so 7 plus 40 plus 21 plus 118 plus 38 plus 21, it equals 245. And this pattern persists throughout the Khipu. So if you want to pause the video and add these up on your own, go for it. This holds true for each group except for group A, which only has 5 pendants, where almost all the other chord groupings have 6. So it's quite possible that A6 broke or is otherwise missing from the Khipu and had a value of 13. So quite possibly there's a pendant chord just missing. No explanation is given for the purpose of pendants P, Q, and R. If you have any theories, please leave a comment below. There are only a few quipus with top chords, and not all of them work like this. Quipus are just complicated like that. But when a top chord or other chord provides the sum of grouped pendants, it's called a totalizer chord. In the next video, I'll be discussing duplicate accounting and the Inca quipus. See you then. Bye.